Hey everybody, on today's video I picked up this they call it a mid-size battery charger and maintenance, and it's got the 15 amp fast charge, which I didn't have one with the 15 amp. So you know, you try and plan ahead and you get everything, all the batteries up and charged and everything, but sometimes that doesn't always work, so then you want to do a fast charge. So I wanted to have that ability, plus my old battery charger is getting old, so in case it failed or whatever, I picked this up. And we got the D17 here, which has been setting you know, during the winter most of the time, because I use basically the bale fork on the 6080 to get bales to the cows in the winter and stuff. So it doesn't get used a whole lot. The battery in here is not very strong, so this will be a good one to test it on. Alright, so one of the joys of hooking the battery charger up to the D17 is it's got this F11 loader on it. So it gets a little interesting. But, okay, so we got the charger, and I will plug it in. Without dropping it. Okay, so she's plugged in, and it tells you, all right, please put clamps on the battery. So we will do that. And like I said, it is it's kind of fun to work in between here on this, and by fun, you know, really not so much. Okay, and that's trying to fall. Yippee! All right, so our positives over here. I'm gonna pull those apart a little bit. Negatives on the other side. And it probably would be easier if I'd pull the other side loose, and I'd be able to get at this negative one a little easier. But you can't pull it all the way off without going off the smokestack and all that good stuff. So we'll get it hooked up here. So one thing I'm noticing right away is that the clamps are a little bit bigger than my old ones, so that's a little tighter space in here. But I got that one hooked up, and we'll hook the positive up. All right, now what's it say? Okay, so it says battery capacity, it's at 40%. So hey, we want to charge that thing. And standard battery, so I hit that standard button. We can switch the amps. We'll put it at 8, and we'll hit charge. All right, and then it shows, ooh, and it's got a fan in it. So that's a good thing, because it, you know, some of my old one at times it would warm up, and you know, you're worried about it a little bit. Let's see here, get it so that it's not right in my face completely. Well, that's hard to do. It's a bright sunny day, so we're getting the shadow right at me. Let's pull this off a little bit. All right. So there we go. Yeah, you can see me again, and you can probably hear that. That's the fan running, And if I duck out, I've got the batteries connected. So what we'll do is we will let that charge. It's going. So we'll let that charge because this is the Viking. What number is that? Viking 56796. Charge and maintain. So you can put it on maintain. It has a kind of a recovery mode on it too. So I may take a look. I've got a battery that's really iffy. So I may do a video on that too with one of them. We'll see. But for right now, I've got the D17. It's charging 8 amps, standard battery, or no, I switched it over to gel. There we go. So that's how easy it was to switch it over. And now I got it on standard battery, 8 amp, and charging. So we will, yeah, and there's that recondition button, but that's not what we're going to use on this one. So we'll let this run a little bit, and it will do its thing, and we'll come back and we'll see how it did. All right, so we've had this going all afternoon, and it's staying right about 80%. So if it gets to 100%, then it'll go into automatic maintain mode. But the sun's going down, so I'm gonna call it good for tonight. And it's got 13.1 volts. Of course, then it kicked back on its own there, so it's back at 80%. Charging there. So far, I like this thing. It's the Viking Midsize battery charger and maintainer. It seems to be, so far what I do like about it. It's, you know, it's got the digital readout versus the old dials on like my old one. That reconditioning thing, I'll have to find a battery. We'll do a video on that one too. I want to see how that goes. And then it also has the winter mode. So like if you want to just plug it in and have it on your lawnmowers, or I mean, you could leave it on your tractor too, and maintain that charge in there. That would be another use for it. It has the 15 amp fast charge. It has the 8, so if you want to switch it down, you know, it'll do auto, 2 amp maintain, 8 amp normal charge, and then the 15 amp fast charge. So, and that thing's light. For its size, that's impressive. And the fan obviously must be thermostatically controlled, because it's still a gorgeous day for the end of January. But it's down to 37 degrees. Like I said, the sun's going down, and so the fan is not running at this point. But it is charging. It's showing. You know, you're a lot like a phone or iPad or whatever you got that charges like that. Nice, good, solid cables. Those could be a little smaller, actually, where it connects to the battery, but most of the time you're not in positions where it's going to be real tight all the time. So that's just a minor thing about it. And who knows, I might like them better because that bigger size, then if it's cold and you're wearing them and you have to wear gloves, then that would be handier. I would enjoy that aspect of it, that, you know, you can get a hold of them, you're not dropping them, things like that. But so the old D17, get that battery some charge in it, because you know, like, it doesn't get a ton of use. especially in the winter. Obviously, these things are cold-blooded anyway. So not the strongest battery in the world on there. Getting some charge in it is a good thing, to not have to worry about that. Then, so I always, have my cable run out here, and a lot of times I don't end up getting it wound up. A lot of times it just sits here on the floor. So when I was at Harbor Freight, I picked up one of these, one of the magnet hooks too. So bonk. So I'll have that there, and the cats just snuck in. So they're getting in there, but as always, thanks for watching. Pheasants in the background, and take care.